Today I'm going to talk about an app called Classroom. Classroom is really helpful to monitor what students are doing on their iPads during class. So Classroom looks like this little orange guy on the bottom, and when I click on it, you will be able to see all of your classes. All of these classes are automatically loaded in through Infinite Campus. So one thing, you can edit the way, you can edit where your classes are and move them around by hitting edit. And then just hit done. You can see they're jumping around. And you can also customize them to name them how you want and with the color. Alright, so I'm going to go into a class. And when I do that, we can see that the students light up. They have to have their Bluetooth on and be on the iPad Wi-Fi. So if they're not coming online, those would be the two things to check. So we can see how many students are in this class. And we can also look up here on the navigation bar. We have such things as open, navigate, lock, mute, screens, and then you can create groups. So I'm just going to start by showing you how you could create a group really quick and why this would be useful. So if I hit the plus sign for a group, I can name the new group there. So I'm just going to call it Group A for now. And then I just click on which students I want into that group. So this might be really nice for stations if you're running stations and you know your Group A is going to be in, let's say, IXL, and your Group B is going to be on Canvas, or whatever the case may be, because then you can just toggle between your groups to see what they're doing. So I'm just going to hit done and get out of that. So now we can see those are the 3 kids in the group I just picked. So if I go back to all, then I will see all 9 students in this class. Next to the group sign is screens, and I use screens all the time because you can see exactly what they're doing on their screen. If I click on the student Levante and I push his view screen right here, I can see exactly in a bigger format what Levante is doing at this moment. Alright, and you can see when I click on that student, I could put in a password for his iPad, I could navigate him or open an app, I could play his iPad right from here, or I could mute it. So the thing about the next 2 buttons, mute and lock, if I hit mute or lock, it will do that for every single iPad that is showing on the screen. Okay, so often if we're doing a non-iPad activity, I will just lock the entire class and then they're not able to use their iPad until I unlock them out. Navigate, so if I click on navigate, I can open them into a certain app. But I actually use the open a lot more often. So I'm going to click on that. And if you look all the way on the bottom where it says lock an app after opening, if you hit that, and let's say I want my entire class to go to IXL, and I hit the IXL button, then all of the iPads will automatically open into IXL and the students will be locked into that app. This is why making those little smaller groups is really helpful. If you don't want your whole class in IXL, then you could put just certain kids in there. If you don't do the lock after opening, it will still open everybody to an app, but they could get out of it. That same option, if I go back to Levante, is right here on Levante's. If I put open, I can just lock Levante into an app. The thing about the app, it has to be on your iPad. So if you want to lock students into an app, you have to make sure it is already on your iPad. Alright, then I'm going to hit end class here. And the nice thing about this, it will say what the students were doing during my class. So, for example, if I hit here on Safari, I can see that I had 4 students on Safari, and the little bar there with the blue line shows how many minutes, and that's kind of a running time of the entire time I had my class room app open. So normally for me, this would be the entire class period, and then I can see that little blue line is exactly when that student was on that app during my class and how long. So it just gives you a rundown of what was happening in your class. And then you just hit done, and you'll go back to your home screen.